good. So I know this is our second Sunday of the new year. I know Truth talked about resolution last Sunday. So welcome to the new year of the year 2022. I don't know about you, but I am so glad and appreciative that we are finally here today, year 2022, right? So, but what I just said about welcoming the new year, there are three components to it. I talked about the past, how ugly, how big or small we recognize, we know it was there, we're done with it, ta-ta, goodbye, that's in the past. Now, as in the guided meditation, we're also talking about the present moment, that we are finally here, us right now, today. And there's also a part of future that we are looking forward to. Perhaps that future that we are looking forward to is mixed with excitement, curiosity, maybe a little bit of fear, anxiety as well. So these are three things that as a human body that we are in this soul, in this body, get to recognize. How many of you, I know I have in the past set a resolution and failed miserably? A lot of you, I'm sure. Yeah. So it's so normal. It's okay. There's nothing to be ashamed of. Some research shows, they did research on this, that only 8 to 10% of people who are doing resolution sort of succeed. And, there's a reason why. And I want to talk a little bit about that and about the being in the moment and how that relates to about the teachings of spiritualism. So it's going to be all tied into that one thing. But I want to begin by talking about a word that we call a resolution. So the word resolution in the past, we've used many times, has such a negative connotation because a resolution is, by definition, is something that we want to change, something that is negative about us. It's a statement that we like to change something that is negative about us. Now, I don't know about you, but how many times as a child, when people said, no, don't do that, that's bad, that we did it anyway. It's just human nature. We're so used to that. But, it's a negative thing that we are talking about resolution. We have to do this. It's a must. And that sets up for a failure. So throughout today, I want to acquaint with the word in intention. So instead of setting a resolution, perhaps we should shift our focus, shift our mindset to an intention. An intention is a broader understanding. Intention is something that we would like to, there's a positive side to it. An intention is something that we set out to change our lifestyle for the better. It has nothing to do with what we've been doing wrong or anything like that. But it's something, it's a physical thing, but at the same time, it's a mindset. It's a shift of our mindset to do something totally different. The way we go about things or do things, perhaps we wanted to try something this way, maybe we can do this, but it's setting an intention. So it's sort of like a law of attraction, how we are talked about in the past about law of attraction, abundance. We want to attract abundance in our life. So it is sort of like that. So setting an intention is something that we want to do it. Now, is it enough to just set an intention and do nothing about it? No. It's sort of like saying, I once knew a woman in my past work many, many years ago. She was a Christian. Her husband was I think her husband was a minister of some sort of Christian sect. And I was shocked because one day she comes in and she told me that she went shopping and she wrote this check and she didn't have any enough funds in it, but she wrote it. And I said, why? And she goes, well, I know good Lord will give me abundance and put money in there somehow. Okay, sure, that's okay, but it's illegal. But perhaps an intention of setting her mindset to do something might be a positive thing. But there has to be some sort of a definite a plan, sort of, to legal plan to set your intentions to work for you, a law of attraction to work for you. Let's say you want to attract maybe you want to go buy a house or look for an apartment. But if you're sitting at home watching TV and just thinking about it, sure, the law of attraction, our frequency, vibration will set you up, but you're going to miss the opportunity. Perhaps there's somebody walking by the street that's going to connect with you, that apartment or house. Something, you go on an email and there's something that you might find, but if you don't do anything about it, you're going to miss an opportunity. It's the law of attraction. Frequency, vibration will match your vibration, but if you don't act on it, if you don't do something about it, then it'll be just a missed opportunity. So setting intentions with a specific goal, and then an affirmation that it is going to work. Many of us have been raised in a very negative connotation that we cannot do this, you're not worthy of it, and just, all that negative stuff on there. We have listened to ourselves, our thoughts, negative thoughts, for way too long. We have to lose ourselves in that. You are worthy. You are capable. And you are loved in many different ways that you might not realize. But if you look beyond that you are capable of doing anything that you set your mind to. How many times I have, in the past, wanted to do something, how to do something better on YouTube and directions or something I, watch. But one thing leads to another. Perhaps, okay, let's say I want to watch a dog program, how to train a dog. And this is a real happen. And I watched one segment and I saw something else about a dog and I clicked on it. And then I saw a dog running, another video with dog running and different dog, and I clicked on it. Next thing I know, I've been watching 2 hours of cute dogs running on a YouTube channel that has nothing to do with what I set out to. So, I know we're all guilty of that. It's okay. Sometimes we need to just let loose and just be free of all that stress. Yes, it's okay. What about on weekends? And I have 1,000 things to do. I have projects. I need to do this. I need to do that, do this. I know. But sometimes just being out of pure laziness or not, I turn up on Netflix and I watch something. It's an interesting show, but next thing I know, I'm watching another show, another episode, blah, blah, blah. And next thing I know, sun sets. And I've lost the whole day. Oh my God. So, it's okay to be inspired for certain movies or stories and things like that. And I do it all the time. And it's a great moment when I do, and I cherish it. And I remember it for a long time. But we get this, fall into this trap of just losing ourselves in that unproductive and on productive times. Now, earlier, I said something about past, present, and the future. What I just told you about watching YouTube for hours and hours on end and Netflix have become past. Now, you can never get that back. That time, you can never get that back. We are, unlike spiritual realm, unlike the unseen world, not sure what goes on there exactly, but I have some good ideas. In our physical body, we are bounded by natural law, physical law. And that physical law is that we have time, space, and gravity. It's a physical thing. No one can escape that, our physical law. No one is above it. Not even Jesus. not even Buddha. We are all equal in that natural law of physical law of past, present, and future. It's sort of like in a linear fashion. We look in the past, there is a past that we recognize. Here's present moment and the future. That's our lives. That is us. That is our soul living in this body. Now, recognizing that, we can do something about it to improve ourselves, to better ourselves, and not focus so much about the past. Or, and I should say, in this instance, not so much about unproductive, lazy, just plain laziness past that we've spent hours on, minutes on, something that is just gone by. You know, our life is a rehearsal to the continuity of life that expands beyond what we call death into spiritual life. And I look forward to that one of these days. Not soon, but you know what I mean? But, you know, we only get one rehearsal in this life. I think, so what is the meaning of our life? You know, in this rehearsal, we are to learn, we are to teach, we are to, you know, to love ourselves and love our neighbors and, you know, our plants and animals and this planet. In spiritualism, we know that our life continues after call, and we retain our personality, our characters into our spiritual realm. Now, let me ask you a question. I know that we all have dreamt in the past or this morning. We all dream sometimes. And some of us remember those dreams, whether a minute, fleeting moment or extended time. But let me ask you this. How many of you, when you're dreaming, know what time it is, how long it was, minute, hours, days? We don't, right? In our dreaming state, which I believe, or I know, is a journey into what we might see in a spiritual realm. It's an introduction, so to speak. I believe that, and I know that. So in that state, when I come back into a physical body, and when I think about that dreaming state, that there is no past, present, and future, it just is. That's the realm of the spiritual world. However, here, when I come back from that dream, when I wake up, we are once again bounded by physical law. We have past, we have present, and future, kind of linear way. Nothing can change that. So instead of worrying about what we did in the past and regrets and things like that, just know that it's there, because you can't escape it. But what's important thing is to live in the moment. Just like our guided meditation says, we have to do this in the moment, because this moment will expose us to what future might come, what our direction might be. What we do today, what I do now, will determine the path of our future. There are many ways in the future to go. And every one of them are right ones. There are no incorrect ones, as we know. But one might take longer, or might take shorter, roundabout, or it might be something, path that we might not like. We may take a U-turn, come back, and then start over. But living in the moment gives us so much. It gives food for thought. It gives food for our future, correct? So, and that's what really I want to talk about. They're talking about, when I talked about earlier about binging on TV, some research have shown that is basically a little bit of a depression. I know that I recognize that as depression for myself, that is. And then some clinical psychiatrists or psychologists have defined that as nothing more than an inverted rage. Quite interesting, huh? So what that means is, you're not just happy with yourself at the moment. You're just feeling lazy and I should do this, but I don't feel like it. I don't know why I don't feel like it. So instead of being active, we go into this a little minor depression, which is an inverted rage with yourself. Only you can change that. In our spiritual life, we know we have our body, we know we have our mind, then we have our soul. Those three things have to work all in tandem, in harmony, in order for everything to feel good. Now, if our physical body is tired because we've done too many things and we haven't exercised enough or not, and it's a drag on our mind set to be just lazy or unproductive, and our soul feeling the wrath of that, becoming inverted rage because you blame yourself, becomes a depression. Now, I'm not talking about a clinical depression where you need medical help. Of course, those are, everyone should seek out. But I'm talking about just the minor ones when you're feeling a little, whatever, and that develops into full-blown little inverted rage depression. So that becomes an ugly past. It builds up to that already, something that we regret or unproductive life that we have built in the past. So don't add more fuel to that, and recognize that it's, sure, I did it just 2 days ago on Friday night. I sort of kind of binged watched something and I just felt a little off about it. Not too bad, but I recognize it. So, okay. But, recognizing yourself for that is just the key, I think. How much time I got? So definitely, I think living in the moment is something that as a spiritualist, there's so much to learn. We have so much to learn, and so much to give, so much to, when we learn something, we can teach others. As a spiritualist, we have, it's a science. We know it's a science. It's a religion. It's a philosophy. And spiritualism is a total sum of philosophy, meaning that it's all encompassing. It is full. It is the whole truth, not half truth, but the whole truth. Knowing that our continuity of life continues after death and retains much of our characters, personality, and things like that. With that, we continue on the other side. I don't know about you, but if I live here all upset, enraged, and show fingers to people who are cutting me off on the traffic and things like that, I do that every day. I don't want to take that into my peaceful spiritual life that I like to enjoy forever, ever. That becomes your hell. We choose to be in that state. And that becomes your signature when you go to the spiritual world. I believe in it and I know it. So that's why I think living in the moment is very important, because recognizing something that we have done in the past and that we want to do this, we have to set an intention to work positively, having a positive shift in our mind. We want to go out there, balcony, and maybe water the plants that really need water. It's begging for water. And as a human being, we have to tend to loving these things, loving animals, a loving planet, grounds, river, ocean, ourselves, our neighbor, and our family, whether you like it or not, or your friends, your enemies. It goes on and on. It's you. Only you can change. Only you can do a shift in your thinking. I look at this water glass. It's almost half full. But I can look at it as cliche as this might be, it's such a good example because you can look at it as a glass half full or half empty. Only you can decide that and think that. So it's up to you to live in the moment and to bring yourself into the glorious future that lays ahead. Now, there's one, I've been reading this spiritualism book that's really wonderful. And there's a, just to see if I can find something. Every day is a new time. We have all eternity in which to grow, to become, to arrive in fullness and completeness. So, yeah. So I think about these things. I hope that you all can think about with me about how your life will impact and how your thoughts will impact your mind, body, and soul. Not just one, not just doing things. I just want to focus on just big picture of loving ourselves. We have listened to our bad thoughts, bad sounds, bad noises way too long. Set yourself free, set yourself loose, and immerse yourself in the moment, because this moment is so loving, and be in it. I just want to leave you with that, and hopefully, this is a spiritualism teaching that it's full philosophy. It's about life. Sure, we're going to worry about what is there in unseen world. No one knows for definite, but so I don't want to worry. We shouldn't be worrying about future too much. And if it's even said that in the Bible. So not worrying too much about our past, future, but living in the moment. And as a human body, our soul in this garb that we call human, there's infinite ways we can grow. And it's up to us to let that happen. Thank you.